Hello, I wanted to do a video of making wildlife art starting with play and using abstraction with mixed media. And I'm going to use this Roadrunner, but we're not going to put the Roadrunner on just yet because we want to get some layers down first. And I just wanted to do like a free demo if you might want to, just tag along and maybe do this with me. It's kind of like a free lesson, if you will. Just how to create something from your playfulness and mixed media and, experiments, really. I'm just going to kind of scribble, and all this will probably get painted over, but it is kind of fun just to scribble. I'm using colored pencils, just regular colored pencils. I'm using acrylic paint. Any kind of acrylic paint will work. Water-based acrylic. I am using garish colors, just for boldness. I usually like to start real bold and then get everything a little more subdued later. I like polka dots a lot, so I'm going to use a lot of polka dots in this one. And it's just, this is just pure play. It's pure joy. It's fun. There's no pressure. You're not trying to make anything. You're just messing around, getting some paint on the surface. Sometimes it's better to let the layers dry a bit before you go on, but I might be doing less of that just for the sake of time on the video. Sometimes if I do get a lot of paint on here, I will absorb some of it. I mean, look how cool this looks. You could just use that and then use it as a way to create a print almost of that. Let's see what happens. So you still get some of that. You can absorb some of these. And you can do this with paper too. You can use a light craft paper. They make that, what's that stuff called? It's like a crepe paper. Or you can use brown art craft paper to do that. But I'm just going to keep going. And, normally I would, like I said, I would use really thick layers of paint, but I might be using more washes this time just to get it to dry faster. But I want to cover up all the white. And you might be doing this and you might go, might be using brown, you might go, I don't like brown. I actually like brown, but it's a way to figure out what it is you like and what you don't like in art making, which is very handy to know. I find, probably because I'm older, that I just sort of forget. I forget what I like and what I don't like. So I end up doing the same things, and it's like, wait a minute, I thought I figured out that I didn't like that. But that's probably just a personal problem, one you won't have to deal with. I'm using a bigger brush now. I just want to cover up everything, so let me do a light wash. And it's smearing everything because things aren't dry, but that's okay. Like I said, it's pure play, pure fun, no pressure. Nothing has to look good right now. I'd say it looks pretty darned ugly. You know, you can do crazy stuff like just take the paint right out of the tube, get some polka dots going. And I just have this paper towel. I like to reuse these paper towels because I know they're not good for the environment. So I'm going to use this paper towel, but you can also use, like I said, that brown craft paper or even just white copy paper. And then you can reuse it, which is so cool because you can use it as collage. I should have had something like that ready to go, and I didn't, so. But I can only show you so much in one video. There's so many things you can do. That's why I made all those other videos, like with the frog tape and the... Go back and look at those if you want, and you can use that in this project. I mean, that's looking kind of fun right there, I think. But I'm just going to take where there's still some white, and I'm using this beeswax crayon, which, you know, technically it's a wax crayon. So technically it doesn't work with acrylic, but I find that in abstract pieces or just fun playing around pieces, you don't have to worry about it so much because you can paint over it. I'll show you what happens when let's just paint over it and show you. And it still kind of comes through. It's like a resist almost. Let's see what happens if we... So you kind of get... That's kind of cool right there, all that interesting marks that made. And at the end, I like to use beeswax crayons, you know, to kind of make lines and stuff. And then nothing's going on top of it, so it's not as much of an issue as if you put it under layers of paint. Now, I am putting it under layers of paint, but like I said, this is just a demo and it's not super important. It's not like I'm gonna sell it or anything. So if you're just playing and having fun, it doesn't matter. Making some green. Kind of I want to do some stripes somewhere. Get some. Having issues with my paint. We just did some stripes somewhere, like. I find that stripes they're kind of cool when you get closer to putting the subject in. It's fun to have stripes peeking out from somewhere. I mean, you could, you know, you can write things, you can draw things in, doodling. You can do whatever you like just whatever's fun. Just go for it. See, now I feel like it's getting too liney, so I'm gonna go back in and just maybe do a couple big shapes. Just real wet blue-green. Just, let's see. How about just right here? One thing I also like to do is to take a rag or a used paper towel and I'll just kind of wipe it off. Mixes everything together and then it's can use and it's just, you know, it's ugly, but it's like I said, it's just playing around. I'm kind of using a limited palette, but you can use as much color as you want. Let me get some. It's getting really wet, so I think what I'll do is stop it for now and let it dry a bit, and we'll go back to it.